Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye has friends. No, really, Jeff has friends. Jeff's friends are on this podcast. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship.
Friendship.
Welcome back to Jeff Dye's Friendship Podcast, episode 87. This week, our reigning guest leader, Jeff Zenisek, is back. Take that, JC Carias. Spent the whole night with you last night, and we still decided to take Jeff Z under our wing for this. No, but we still love you, and we love all of our guests. We got a lot of big guests coming up in the future, but this week we take a nice chill with Jeff Z. Catch up with him, see what's going on. We started talking about comedy. We talk a lot about basically everything. We just rambled today, which was those are my favorite kind of episodes, and that's what I like about them. You're gonna have a good listen this week. Big shout out to Patreon subscribers. Let's do that real quick. If you're a Patreon subscriber, the advantage of that is you get free comedy club tickets to all my live shows. You get to watch this podcast. You get the whole catalog of old episodes, and you can listen and watch those as much as you want, or you get them first. Also, you can message me as often or as little as you'd like directly, which is fun for me to go back and forth with my favorite people. If you want to start a dialogue, just go to patreon.com/JeffDye and subscribe for a small fee. All that money goes towards the podcast and producing the podcast and getting Tony to and from the studio, all these different little things that you gotta pay for when you have a podcast. So a big shout out to Ashley Bowers. She said she just signed up. She's been listening to podcasts on Spotify for over a week, and that's why she wanted to subscribe, because she wanted to be able to watch them also. So welcome, Ashley. We love you. Jennifer Marsh, you've been a Patreon for a while. Love you so much. I once dated a girl named Jennifer Marsh. Different Jennifer Marsh, but when I see your name pop up, I always go, oh, that's Jennifer, and then I realized, oh, no, different Jennifer Marsh. She said she just signed up. She had never heard a podcast before, and now she's been watching it and binge watching it, and she's catching up. So I love that. Elisa Dickinson, thank you for your subscription. She's enjoying the Dane episode. And she agreed that we were like spot on when we said that Dane Cook has a fantastic, perfect vocabulary to make his jokes work within his storytelling. Cheryl Dennison. She said that she cheated on me this week with another comedian, and she feels bad, and she should feel bad, because you're ours, all right? You're one of our favorite Patreon subscribers. Heather Dykstra, we love you. Thanks for subscribing. If you want a shout out, or if you want to be on this podcast with a quick thing, or be a part of the friendship team, just go to patreon.com/JeffDye. Also, if you want to watch old episodes, we have a YouTube channel where we put our older episodes of in its entirety. Go to youtube.com/JeffDye's Friendship Podcast, and you can watch all the old episodes, and you can catch up that way if you'd like. If you are a subscriber, you're not a subscriber to Patreon, just at least go to iTunes or wherever you're listening to your podcast and hit subscribe. We would appreciate that very, very, very much. Without further ado, enjoy this episode on all things comedy of the #1 friendship podcast in the world. Me, Tone Bear, and Jeff Z. Now we're cooking. It's podcast time. Are all the levels good? We got a new computer for the podcast.
Everything's good.
Good levels. Levels are checking.
Is this the new computer?
Everything's great.
It's
Everything's
an
great.
old computer I never used.
Testing.
So I was like, I keep saying I'm going to go get a computer. And I was like, I have a computer downstairs that I literally just like check my email with.
Yeah.
I have a computer up here. So let's put it to good use, you know? Super excited to have you back, Jeff Z.
What's up?
Dude, you talking to that mic, dog.
Oh, sorry.
You're acting like
What's
it's your first
up?
rodeo.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you, Tony has really become a dictator
savage,
producer. You know?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Jeez.
He doesn't even ask no more, just shouts at people.
Wow.
He won't say like, oh, I heard that. He goes, I already know that.
I just want the people to hear you.
Talking to the mic, you piece of shit.
I just want the people to hear you,
Welcome
man.
to the show, maybe.
Yeah, that'd be a nice one. Well, you know, like, who's the guys that like are always battling for most times hosted on SNL? It's like Steve Martin and there's another guy. Tom Hanks? No, it can't be.
Alec Baldwin?
Maybe it's they're always
Yeah,
like this
probably him.
weird pissing match of like who's done it most.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff Z
You're taking
and
the lead.
JC Carias are the two most requested and regulars of the Jeff
Yes.
Friendship
Yeah.
podcast.
Come for you, JC.
Yeah.
Suck it, bitch.
I think you just took the lead.
All right.
JC just told me a flattering thing last night too. He said he doesn't do any other podcasts.
Really?
Yeah, ours is the only one he's done.
Wow.
Yeah.
Same, bro.
Makes me feel special.
Makes me happy.
I in fact, I decline other podcasts.
Well, he does decline them.
Yeah.
I know you don't.
Yeah. No, I would.
No, you don't.
People will ask, I go, fuck your podcast, dude. Just
How's
as
not-
friendship.
it's not even
I'm
the
like,
only-
bro,
yeah. It's loyalty.
friendship,
This is
then
not
I
even
make
the only
a
one I
F
work
with
for.
my fingers.
Yeah, within the first few weeks, he already was like doing Maryland Rice Cubs and that Tanya, whatever her name is.
Or no.
Remember her? Tanya or Tania?
Yeah.
I can't remember her name now. That's how long it's been.
I just set up her situation. I didn't. She wanted me to do it.
Does
but
she have it?
I was like, no.
Is she doing one?
I don't know.
I doubt it. I bet there's not a lot of follow through on that.
Cut off
that
contact
gal.
on that situation.
Smart. But speaking of your competitive nature,
Yeah.
you're the only guy who moved to LA and does way more softball than comedy.
Yeah. Well, that's not good.
I love
just
it.
should do.
You're living your best
I
life.
would
You're
like
doing what
to
you want to be doing.
I want to be doing more comedy,
Yeah.
but
It's even gotten you work. You recently,
yeah, I got to be on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
yeah, just because
Oh,
he's on their
what?
softball team.
Yeah.
Dude, fuck
How
yeah.
crazy
Yeah.
is that?
Hey, it's
Yeah.
about who you know, right?
Well, it's worked. Like,
Yeah.
when I first moved to LA, my girlfriend at the time, Sarah, she's like, you got to stop doing so much. Like, you're playing softball like every night when you need to be like doing comedy every night. And when she said every night, I mean, every night I was in LA. Because I would like do comedy on the road and on the weekends, and then I'd come home and I'd do softball every night. And she's like, "You should be going to the Improv in the store." And I was just like, "No, this is fine. I love softball. It's super fun, you know." And then, but it never worked out for me. And she was giving me bad advice because this guy's been playing softball every night, and now he's on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
Well, I think you did good by taking that advice. I feel like I need someone like that in my life to tell me to quit it.
It's great. I
I'll
love
tell
it.
you.
though.
I'll tell you.
All right.
But you got Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's better than anything I've done, so I
It's,
can't
uh,
really, I have no room to
I
talk.
mean, I'm just in the background.
It doesn't
so
matter.
Still
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
I am on it. You
Yeah.
will see me walking
You must
in
be
the
the
park.
most distracting background actor
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, they moved me pretty far back.
Whoa, there's
Yeah.
fucking Bigfoot back there.
Exactly. He's like,
Yeah.
what are you, 6'7"?
Yeah.
6'7",
Jeez.
long hair that's like
Yeah.
blonde and flowing with a dark beard.
Yeah.
Like that is you are like a naked Bigfoot.
I know. So
You even
when,
sound like Bigfoot.
when I
Your big booming voice. You got a Bigfoot voice.
Hey, I'm a Bigfoot, bro. I do think my Jeff Z impression is probably
It's
the
pretty
best
good.
yeah.
out of everyone.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, when I did it, they like I was like a pedestrian.
hmm
So, there'd be like the people talking or whatever, and then they'd be like, yeah, just walk by in the background or whatever, so there's like other people walking by, and they'd all do it, and they'd be like, you have to go farther back, like keep going. Keep going.
They
And
do
I'm like,
some-
am I even
they-
You were
here?
becoming like a
I'm
nuisance
not
to
even
them.
They
in
gotta
the
do some
park.
like Lord of the Rings like camera tricks where it's like
Yeah.
you're 30 feet away, but it looks like you're walking next to somebody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Me and the Hobbits,
Yeah.
except reverse.
Yeah.
They
I
need
would-
to shrink you down to regular person size.
Yeah.
Which will be a problem for the rest of your career if you want to act. Is there's going to be so many leads that are like, I can't stand by that guy, or I don't want to act with that guy,
I know.
and they'd rather just recast it. You
Like
know?
Freddie. Happened to Freddie.
Yeah.
Like I
Freddie and
see,
Kiefer.
I see The Rock and stuff, and I'm like, man, he looks like a monster. And then
Yeah.
He's
I'm
supposed
2
to,
inches
though.
taller than him.
He's supposed to. Yeah, you'll never work with The Rock.
Like,
Or
it's-
Arnold, or
Yeah.
Stallone.
Stallone.
They'll
No.
never. They'll
I
never
have
let
to-
you work with
yeah.
those guys.
Unless
God
there's a
damn it.
scene where they want them to beat up a giant man.
yeah,
Well, how tall
You
is
like
Dolph
Dolph?
Lundgren?
I bet he's like
6'4".
I bet he's like 6'2", 6'3".
He-
He just
Yeah.
And they made
looks-
him look like this giant Russian made
looks
in
like
a
he's
lab.
7 foot tall. Yeah.
That's great.
yeah.
We got to get super strong, dude. We got to just start doing steroids
Oh, dude,
to
I'm
book
down.
these roles.
Get us
We'll be in all the
steroids, bro.
Mad Maxes. And
You know what? But I'm proud of Dolph Lundgren. Did you watch Creed 2?
I did not.
He's very good in that movie because he comes back as Ivan Drago,
Oh, okay.
and it's like his son is fighting Apollo
You told me
Creed's
this,
son.
yeah, and it's great.
It's really great.
Yeah.
And but like Dolph Lundgren, like not a good actor in the 80s.
He was
Um,
badass in that
He's
movie.
badass, but he's not like a good act. Like it's just like kind of one note.
Yeah,
I've
but
heard that.
what emotional
He didn't have a lot of
scenes
opportunity,
does-
but sure.
Yeah.
He like killed
But
somebody
I'm
with
not
a
talking
punch.
specific.
Like,
Yeah, you're right.
should he
I'm not
really-
talking specifically Rocky though. I'm just talking his career. Like
He's
He-Man,
evolved with-
not good as He-Man.
Right, but he's also evolved with the movies.
Well, sure, and that's what I'm saying is like in Creed 2, fantastic performance. Like there's he shows that even as Ivan Drago, there can be emotion, there can be like character development
Yeah,
as that character, and it's fantastic. It's so good.
I love that.
Yeah,
Did you know that Dolph Lundgren can speak like 12 different languages?
yeah, and he has like a PhD in like
It's really smart.
fucking physics
Yeah.
or some shit.
And then, but they were just casting him to be like, "Hey, just be strong, guy. Don't say
Just
anything."
grunt for us.
Yeah.
Poor bastard looked like a big Russian lab rat, and he's actually the smartest dude in the world.
That's bullshit, though. He should not do roles like that.
He's
because
from like
that's
Switzerland
for
or
me.
something.
I barely
You
speak
should
English.
be getting the He-Man
You know?
role, and
Yeah,
That's why it's acting, bro.
I know, but yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, I'm jealous too.
I'm method, dude.
I don't get to be either. They won't let me be the smart guy or the dumb guy. They just don't want me at all. They just get out of here. It's not fair.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Why were we even talking about Dolph Lundgren?
Because I talked about
We're talking about
Creed
being
2.
huge on camera.
Yeah, huge on camera, and like
Oh yeah.
he's like probably 6'3". It looks like he's 7 feet.
Well, what's the Freddie Prinze quote about Kiefer?
I don't know if there's a quote, but I just like I heard this story when I was in acting school.
Yeah.
And then we looked it up one day. Like it's why like when he was on 24, they made him like stand in they like dug a ditch or something.
Yeah.
And they made him not wear shoes. He couldn't wear shoes.
I think they dug a ditch too, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
So that he was not taller than Kiefer Sutherland.
Man, that's crazy.
And he's got a great. There is a quote. I'm gonna try and find it.
Because we were going to ask him about it when he was here, and then we just never got to it because we started talking about everything else.
Dude, he'll go a mile a minute.
Yeah, well, we got to have him back.
Yeah,
Fuck Jeff Z.
Come on, man, right here.
Whoa, whoa.
Jeez, savage producer.
Here it is. Here's the
I'm
quote.
trying a new character.
I did 24 and it was terrible. I hated every moment of it. Kiefer was the most unprofessional dude in the world. That's not me talking trash. I'd say it to his face. I think everyone that worked with him ever has said that. I just wanted to quit the business after that, so I just sort of stopped. I went and worked for Vince McMahon at WWE for Christ's sake, and it was a crazier job working with Kiefer. And then he goes, but then
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Wow.
But then he says about Vince McMahon, but at least he was cool and tall. I didn't have to take my shoes off to do scenes with him, which they made me do.
Yeah.
Just put the guy on an apple box or don't hire me next time. You know I'm 6 foot and he's 5'4".
Wow, he's 5'4".
I don't know, but that's such a great line.
That's
Yeah.
very funny.
He's back, though. Freddie Prinze.
He's back in acting. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Well, what's he in?
He's in the Punky Brewster reboot.
Oh, really?
If you're top
Dude,
build
he
on a
should be
show,
put on. He should try to get on Mandalorian. I mean, he knows all those guys.
Yeah.
dude, I watched the first episode last
What'd
night.
you think?
It was great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Baby Yoda, so cute.
Yeah, dude.
I like how the
Fucking
Seahawks adopted. Did you
tight.
see all that?
Mm-mm.
They turned Baby Yoda into like Baby Yoda Russ.
Oh, really?
And it's like now, like they said, like if we get like 33,333 retweets by noon tomorrow, we'll change it as our Twitter picture. And it happened in like 4 hours.
Wow.
So now it's like Seattle Seahawks like Twitter pictures. It's
I
like,
love
It's
that.
like Baby Yoda when he's like looking up, but he's got like eye black. He's got like Russ's hair and like a hat, and it says like number 3.
So I was
Sweeping
thinking,
the nation.
I was thinking about this last night while I was watching Mandalorian.
Yeah.
we,
Yeah.
we were talking about acting and all that. Which also I was going to say, if you're top build on a show like Kiefer Sutherland, like what you're 5'4", but you're top build, like why do you also have to be the tallest guy? You
Yeah.
know? Like just be
Just
you're-
be what you're
you're
doing.
the star of the
Just
show.
do what you're doing, dude. Baby
you're-
Yoda's not upset that he's
Yeah.
the smallest on Mandalorian.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
Zoom
I think
way
Tom.
in,
I think
make
Tom
me-
Cruise does it the other way. Like he'll be the one that will stand on a box.
Oh, really? He'll
To
do
make
it. He'll
himself
be
look
like, yeah,
tall.
I'll be bigger.
Yeah.
Well, I heard that this is a great clip that they haven't released yet, but they're going to release because they don't want it to kind of mess with the Mandalorian storyline. But there's this fantastic scene, I guess, where Werner Herzog and who's the guy who plays Pedro? What is his name? The guy who plays the Mandalorian?
His name's Pablo Pascal.
Pablo Pascal took it on his iPhone, recorded just while they're not shooting, Werner Herzog talking to Baby Yoda, the puppet, like as if he's an actor, as if he's like another actor, and just being like, "You were so great in that scene," and he's like literally, but like he's having this really funny moment, just impromptu, but he recorded it, and they're gonna really, I guess it's like the funniest thing in the world, and they're going to put it out, but not for like weeks and weeks and weeks.
They reported that they were worried that the puppet wasn't gonna come off right, and they were gonna take the puppet out.
It was Werner's
and
idea.
do CGI, and he called him. He's like, leave the puppet.
It has to be the puppet. That's why people connect with it. That's what he claimed.
That wasn't CGI. That was a real.
That's a puppet.
There's little CGI modifications for certain things, like when he walks and shit. But for the most part, it's a puppet.
Yeah,
which is great because that's what makes this like the first Star Wars, which was in the 70s, and then Episode 1, which was like in the 90s or early 2000s. Why that one looks so much better, and it's old
because it's all practical. All practical effects. John Favreau just posted a video on his like Instagram of just like it was like a video of his monitor of a shot of Baby Yoda close up. So it's like the puppet actually working, like moving.
Oh, that's great.
You know, to prove that it was.
Yeah,
someone like with the remote control.
I don't know how they're doing it.
I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I just know that it is a puppet for sure.
Or there's someone just like tucked under.
Yeah, that's cool.
Who is it? There's been so many comedians in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Burr's going to be in one of the episodes, I guess. Brian Posehn was in the first episode, and then this last on episode 4. Gosh, what's his name? Asif Ali. He's a comedian, but they made him wear a prosthetic nose and gave him like hair, and he's like, nobody's gonna recognize me. But also, like, why would they give him a prosthetic nose? It makes no sense. He's just supposed to be a farmer, like in this like little town, and like they still made him like change his identity. Yeah, which also shows how like powerful you can be if you create a show or executive produce. Yeah, I don't like the way this actor looks. Change his nose.
Yeah,
like he changed the face of a regular guy.
Yeah, make him shorter.
Yeah, he didn't make him a dog man. He didn't make him like he's not like some robot or a bounty hunter. He's literally just a farmer, and then he's like, change that nose.
Yeah,
so weird.
It's not a farmer
gotta
nose,
go,
bro. Yeah.
You know, you might be great for Mandalorian. They might need some big, tall.
I'd be
you
down,
can play a
dude.
Wookiee.
Yeah, easily.
Oh, yeah,
and you kind of walk like a Wookiee.
Damn it.
It's cool.
Yeah, all right.
It's a cool
Dude,
walk.
Wookiees are awesome.
They are cool. They rip things
in the Star Wars
off.
game. You go to Kashyyyk, which is the Wookiee planet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, dude, that's my home.
That's where they've been trying to go forever.
Yeah.
You know, for the Christmas special. I don't know if you guys have seen that. If you haven't seen the Christmas special for Star Wars, you're missing out.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Literally, I'm sure you know all about it.
Uh-huh.
George Lucas, do you know about it?
No.
So like because the height of Star Wars, right? It's like Star Wars mania. It's like
It's
the
before-
Beatles of movies.
and
Like
it's
everyone's talking
it's
about
before
it.
the second one's even out.
Yeah, and so like
you're talking about like 1970s.
yeah, like when everyone's going
when the
crazy,
first
like
one-
they're like they made a war in space movie. Like it's like everyone's going crazy. People like my dad are young and going, it's the greatest film that's ever been made. And George Lucas is overnight, like, you know, he's already successful and whatever, but now he's like next level respected. And so for whatever reason, they made a television special for Christmas called a Star Wars Christmas special. And I mean, it's as bad as you think it would be. Yeah. And if you have, it's on YouTube. And there's actually a great quote from George Lucas who said, if he could spend, if he could buy every single copy of a Star Wars Christmas special and destroy it, he would spend whatever that would cost. Whatever that cost, he would do it. Awesome. Just because he's so humiliated by it. But it's the
Awesome.
premise is, Chewbacca's just trying to get home for holiday or for Festus season.
Oh my
God.
Festivus?
Festivus? I don't know how to say
No,
it.
that's the Seinfeld thing.
Then,
it's no. It's God, what is it? It's like Light Day or something, isn't it? Like
I thought it was Harvest. Something. There's something like that
about the harvest.
Yeah, and so anyways, but he's just trying to get back, and it's basically Christmas. You know, he's just trying to fucking get home for Christmas, and they get him there. And the first like 25 minutes, is just this area that's like big, tall, like kind of like tree house, and it's all Wookiees.
Yeah,
featuring Chewbacca's mom or Chewbacca's wife, Nala.
God.
Yeah.
Chewbacca's father, or like stepfather or father-in-law or something named Itchy. There's like a kid Wookiee that's running around playing with like a thing. But Wookiees don't speak English. So the first like 25 minutes of the Christmas special is just and then they're all just kind of like doing bad. It's so bad. So
That's
bad.
really awesome. And there's no what's it called?
No subtitles, nothing. It's just literally like him playing around. He's got like a plane. He's like, and then like Itchy's like a grumpy old one. He's like, and then like, he's like, and he runs over to the Nala, and Nala's like comforting him while like glaring. It's so bad that it's amazing.
Yeah, I gotta
And
see
then
that.
he puts on like these like kind of like 3D goggles or whatever, and then that's a performance from like some Liza Minnelli or like some sort. No, not Liza Minnelli. Who's the lady? Gosh, I wish I had it all in front of me because I'm just trying to do this off of memory. But it's like basically a concert. They put like this like really sexy, like talented pop star.
Yeah.
And that's how they justified it. It's like, oh,
Life
that's just
Day.
what Life Day.
Yeah, they're celebrating Life Day.
Right.
Mala, his wife's Mala.
Oh, I thought it was Nala.
His son Lumpy.
Lumpy. Oh my god.
Yeah,
His dad Itchy.
Wow.
yeah. His father Itchy. Oh my
How
gosh.
bad is
Man,
that?
dude. Yeah, that's bad.
It's really
A
bad.
Christmas special is usually like not a bad indicator of like what's going on with the thing. When a series goes to space, that's bad.
So bad. Leprechaun in space.
Yeah, dude.
They've named the Wookiees better after this.
Good. Yeah, they
Well,
should
not
have.
better, but just they're more like how Kashyyyk is like a weird name, and
Yeah,
like
Chewbacca is a weird name. Why is
their
he
names like that.
lumpy?
Yeah.
Like, who wrote
they're,
this?
They're not English. Yeah, they're not English
so
names.
bad.
Yeah.
Oh, and also like there's like a Cirque du Soleil performance.
Uh-huh.
Right? Which why is that on TV? Like it's like gymnasts and
B.
things like that.
Arthur.
Oh, that's who performs?
B. Arthur's
No,
in
she's
it.
in it, but
she's running the
She's
Mos
lumpy.
Eisley.
she's in the movie. Yeah, she's like one of the actresses in it.
Yeah, she's running
Who
Mos
is
Eisley.
the woman that performs? Like it's like a it's not like I don't want to guess the name because I know I don't remember.
Jefferson Starship?
There's a performance by Jefferson
There's a
Starship.
video.
But there's
Oh
like a
my
woman,
God.
and I don't know her name, like a black female like pop star at the time. She was like wildly famous.
Grace Jones.
And no,
Let's see.
and he's like watching it like it's porn. He's like, "Arr," and like she's like just doing like this like she's wearing this like crazy kind of outfit.
Chewbacca likes interracial porn.
So weird. He just loves music, dude.
Yeah.
He loves music, and like the way they justify like the Cirque du Soleil
Diane
performance.
Carroll?
Oh, maybe that's
That's
it.
who it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was so weird. But anyways,
Oh, she just passed away
Good.
in October. Rest
you
in
guys should
peace.
watch it.
You
Rest in
shit
peace.
on it for
It's
10
so
minutes,
bad.
and you're like, it's good.
It's so bad that it's good. I mean, you're literally, it's
Yeah.
like the worst movie you'll ever see in your life, and it's so funny.
Yeah.
Because, like, they just totally tried to make, like, you know, like, have you ever seen, like, when they do, like, Peter Pan live, like, on NBC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so garbage. Like, if you saw that live, like, in a theater or something, you might go, this was real fun. I like but it just doesn't translate to TV. It just
Yeah.
comes off as, like,
Hokey.
really hokey and
Yeah.
desperate and, like, oh, look, David Allen Greer is the Scarecrow for some reason. Like, it's just so bad.
Yeah.
Do you think it's the overacting, like the theatrical nature
Yeah, theater
of it?
is good in a theater, you
Yeah.
know, like and going to a live taping of Monday Night Raw is not as good as watching Monday Night Raw. Like
Yeah.
it's just like I think the things are made for certain things. You could argue that about stand up. Why is it when someone watches Dave Attell in person, it's like the greatest night of their life, but then when they watch like a special on Netflix of stand up, they're like, it just didn't translate. And they could be the exact same comedian.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Very true.
I don't know how many times people go, oh, you know who we watched last night? He sucked. And then they name someone I really respect and revere. And you're like, no, they don't.
Yeah.
You were wrong. That guy's great. You know,
Yeah.
it's like so frustrating for me.
It's so easy to not like to watch it like passively too. You know,
What do
like
you
if you're watching stuff on TV,
Yeah.
very easy to just be like, oh, let me also look on Twitter or Instagram or something.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I mean, people do it at shows too, but it's in your face,
Right.
And you're like in the atmosphere of it.
That's why I'm trying to figure out, like, what is the way I can record a comedy special that's going to make people go, oh, this felt right. Like, it didn't feel like just we shooshed a comedian out onto a theater stage.
Mhm.
We put a bunch of nice lights on and good cameras, and now this is his special. Like, that's kind of what it feels like for all these people. Even
Yeah.
Jessica Kirson's, like, she's so funny. And she's so great.
She's great.
I
But
haven't
it
seen hers
feels
yet.
weird, like on that big stage, like I like her in The Cellar, where it's like gritty and like she's just you've never seen a woman kill like that on stage, and then you watch her special and it's fantastic and the jokes are great and I love her, but the setting feels weird.
Did you watch David Tell's Roadwork special?
Mm-mm.
That one's great.
It's good?
'Cause, yeah, he films it in I think 4 different cities or something like that.
Oh,
But
and
it's
then
all
they-
in like clubs.
Good.
He gives the camera to somebody in the audience.
Oh, I
He's
did
like,
see
hey,
this.
film me.
Yeah.
and then like it's in the club.
Isn't one of them like in like kind of I know exactly. I guess I did watch that. It's been a
It
while.
was a couple years ago.
Yeah. One of them's like at like a place called like Coconuts or something like that. Like, isn't one of them like kind of like in a
Maybe,
weird?
yeah.
I know
I think
Coconuts
so.
is in Florida, so it maybe wasn't that exact club, but it has like a tiki kind of scene to it, and he's like making
Yep.
fun of it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
funny, just trashing the venue while he's doing a special there.
Yeah. So,
I don't know.
but yeah, he definitely he did one like in a like tight club setting that looked really good. I think Todd Barry did one that was like that too.
I think so too. Yeah, he did like a crowd work tour or something. Yeah. Why are these comics doing that?
Yeah, crowd work's the new hot thing, I guess.
I guess it's like lazy to me, is what it feels like.
Like
Yeah.
it's good for like if I'm gonna be at the show,
Yeah, if you're there.
but like for a special, it seems weird. It's hard to connect to.
Well, I
When it's also, it seems too easy. Like, and no disrespect to Andrew Schultz, but he's like, just like, yo, is that a purse, bro? And like, just like picks up their purse, and everyone in the crowd is like, aha, he's really giving it to him. But when
Yeah.
you're removed from it and you're not in that room, you just
Yeah.
watch it on Instagram, you're like, what is this? Just like, is he just like roasting a guy for, like, I don't
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's just I think it's like all the like more it's more content. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's like there's we're putting out stuff on Instagram all the time and all that stuff and
I guess that's why it feels lazy to me. It's because you're like,
Yeah.
some people work years on something and they put it out. That's really great. And then some
Yeah.
people just go, I need daily shit. I don't even care what it is. Fill up the pool with Pokeballs. We're going to jump in it. I'm a nutty YouTuber. Like, it just feels so desperate like that.
yeah.
My buddy Pat Finn, who's been on the show, him and his wife Donna, they live right next to like these 4 YouTube guys. And they're all 4 like successful YouTubers who live in a house together. They pay the mortgage of the house off of like their YouTube clips. And like she's like, it's insane. Like for a long time we thought we had a skunk problem. It's not. They're just all smoking weed so much that like she was that naive. She thought they had skunks like
Oh my
outside,
gosh.
but it's just their YouTube neighbors smoking weed all day. And then like they'll literally just like fill the pool with like water balloons and be like, oh, we're nuts. We're gonna jump in the water pool. And they never. And I guess that gets like billions of views.
Yeah. Have
Yeah,
you
it
ever
does.
seen like unboxing videos?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I bought a thing.
Watch me
There it
open
is.
it.
I had to
It's,
do
uh,
I had
it's
to
in the
do one of
box
those for
that
Collider.
I can't tell you how much I hate YouTubers.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
Yeah, it is frustrating. But it's like it like works also. That's
Yeah.
what's weird about it.
I don't mind that it works. That
Yeah.
doesn't trip. I'm not bothered that it works. That doesn't bother me as much. It's just that they're doing it. That's what bothers me.
Yeah.
No, what bothers me is when they try to make it translate into like Hollywood and it won't.
Right.
Because the people watching them on YouTube are 12-year-olds.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and I've talked about this before, like when Logan Paul ends up on set with The Rock,
Yeah.
it really pisses me off.
Doesn't work. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really makes me mad.
Is he
Yeah.
the one that like found a dead body or whatever?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. He filmed a dead body, put it on his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
What was that? Oh, we found a dead body, dude.
'Cause it's like a
poke it, bro.
Yeah, it's like
Here's a racial slur.
yeah, it's a suicide forest in Japan.
That's just like all YouTube videos.
Yeah, he
dead
did a
body,
bunch of, like,
racial slur.
Really racist
Open
stuff in
box.
Asia.
Yeah.
And then and some people got mad, and I think it just increased his like notoriety. To
Yeah.
be fair.
Sure.
Yeah, he's like more famous.
He
than
just
was.
had a boxing match
Yeah.
versus
Yeah.
another YouTuber that sold out Staples Center.
Right.
It's fucking unreal.
Yeah.
Dude, I want to
See,
fight
but again,
a
that
YouTuber.
doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me that it works. It bothers me that it exists, that it's even become a thing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because like they have like this new thing called the Influencer Awards. I just saw it yesterday.
Oh my god.
They've started their own, just kind of like the Emmys or Oscars, like a thing for influencers. And I'm like, no, why is this happening? You don't need awards. You barely do anything.
Yeah.
You barely do anything.
Yeah.
It's like we got rid of pageants and now we started influencer awards.
Hell yeah, dude.
What's happening?
Hell yeah.
But most of the influencers are just hot chicks who don't do shit. They're like, I'm an influencer. I'm a hot chick.
Yeah.
Like, what's your talent? No talent, just a hot chick. Yeah, what do you mean? What do you do? I take photos of myself with great lighting, and then people give me free shit. And that gets a lot of views. So that's what I do. You're like, that's not a thing. It's a thing.
That's the whole purpose behind the Fire Fest was like to like try to build a festival off of that kind of
That's awesome.
fame,
dude.
and that's why it kind of crashed and burned.
Well, they crashed and burned because
It was
they
poorly
didn't deliver.
poorly run,
Yeah.
but people
wanted
were,
to, like-
people were buying into like, oh, I can go for a weekend with all these other
Yes.
influencers and stuff.
Which
like
I
that.
supported them on that thing because like that just looked like a fun ass concert and a bunch of dudes smoking cigars and hot chicks being there and like good food and great bands. Which is why Coachella and all these other things succeed is because that's great. They try to make a super exclusive one with better bands and better food and
But that
better.
wasn't
But
better
why
bands.
was nobody
No,
there?
because they didn't deliver. The idea is great. I
What
think
do
the
you mean?
idea
Yeah.
would
Like,
succeed.
I
So
mean,
they put them in like crappy little tents instead of like a
Yeah, they
resort.
served them,
They
like,
didn't
bologna
fly. Yeah, they didn't
sandwiches
fly
with
or
crab
private.
cheese
They
sandwiches,
flew-
yeah.
and there's no bands there.
Yeah.
So like the only reason it failed is
but why-
because the people were con artists and conned the people out of the money.
Why were the bands not there?
Because they didn't pay them. They didn't pay them to show up and they didn't get contracts that were appropriate. So like the guy literally was a con artist and everyone makes fun of those poor kids who spend like thousands of dollars. You're just mad at them because they're rich. Those kids like literally, they saw a cool thing and they're like, I'm rich. I'll pay for that. This sounds awesome. No private plane. It was a mess from the second they got to LAX. They're like, wait, why am I at LAX? It's a private plane. They said this is private planes, not private planes. And then they got like, they have to sleep at an airport for like 4 days. They got like locked into the airport because they
that's
couldn't get
awesome.
everyone out of there. Yeah, it was off. They didn't even have they didn't even have a permit to be on that island.
No.
It's just crazy.
Nice.
I don't know.
Because it wasn't the original, and they were supposed to be on one certain island, but then they got in trouble and they couldn't do it there, so then they had to try to move it. Like
Because he kept advertising
3
that it was
weeks.
Pablo Escobar's private island.
Yeah,
And they're like, we'll kill you if you keep saying that.
yeah. So like 3 weeks before, they got to try to move it. And it's
Yeah.
it,
The
Holy
fact that
shit.
Ja
you gotta
Rule,
you gotta watch the documentary.
Yeah.
the fact that Ja Rule didn't go to prison for life is beyond me.
Yeah.
He was the only
Yeah.
celebrity that was kind of giving it validity. Like he was the one being like, "It's gonna be fire, dog. Yo, buy your tickets now." Blah, blah. And it's like, well, why isn't he getting in trouble the way like Charlie Manson? Like Charlie Manson didn't kill anybody, but he influenced other people to do a thing. Like
Yeah.
why? Like why doesn't Ja Rule get in trouble?
He started the first Fire Fest.
Yeah, he sucks. And he's
Yeah.
so delusional that after the whole shit hit the fan and that one guy's getting like indicted and all this different stuff, Ja Rule's like on a conference call being like, nah, next year's gonna be big. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
You still think this is gonna work?
I heard they're trying to do another one.
They should. The idea is good.
Yeah.
The problem is that they robbed everyone. Like they're like such jerks.
Yeah.
And the guy was just like so stubborn. He wouldn't, because he was in debt and he was not who he said he was.
Is that the one where the dude had to like suck dick for Waters?
He almost,
Oh yeah, the camera guy.
Yeah.
or not the camera guy. He was just
one.
one of the financial like advisor guys.
No, I think he was like.
There's like a dude that's
He's like a producer or something.
Yeah,
Like,
he's like a producer. Yeah.
And he's like, if that's what I got to do, like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
He was a legend. That guy went viral. People were like
Yeah.
obsessed with that guy.
But like
That's
everyone,
hilarious.
everyone was telling this guy, the head guy who's indicted, the
That it's
reason
not
he
gonna
got
work.
he indicted. He's like, look, we have to stop this. Like we have to
he stayed
refund these
the
people.
course.
But he didn't have the money to refund them. The people that were paying, he already had spent on different things, and the money was gone. He kept having to borrow money.
Look, you know
so
how
that's
much-
why he was like, no, we have to do this.
Do you know how much
gonna
a
be fucked.
billion bologna and cheese sandwiches are? Like a lot. Paper plates, that many paper plates.
He's just such a
shipped
scumbag.
to the island
He's such a scumbag.
with no address.
It makes me so sick, that whole thing. And what made me more sick about the documentary was the way my shithead comedy friends behaved about it. Was like everybody's like on stage making fun of the poor victims of the thing. Like even Ron Funches was like on Conan, like, hey, I think if you're stupid enough, in his weird voice, if you're stupid enough to pay $25,000 to go see Green Day on an island, you deserve it.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Those kids got tricked. And then and now you're blaming them for being like, you're just jealous they're rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There is parts of the documentary though that like was the writing on the wall, and there's like people trying. There was like social media accounts, like, look, this is not real. Like this
Sure.
is not, and they didn't.
But if you,
Care.
but so what? If you
So-
already have my money, and I'm like, well, I don't know, what's her name, Emily Ratajkowski or whatever the hell her name is like literally posting and about it. All these celebrities going like, yeah, Fire Festival, I'm gonna be there. It's gonna be awesome. And then you've got like Ja Rule being like, get ready, emails coming, your private plane. Like that's enough for me to believe it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't blame the victim.
I don't know.
The writing was on the wall.
People were like, hey, but there's people like, look at all this stuff. Like, do not get on these planes,
Yeah,
and people still did.
yeah.
No.
I don't know. I don't know what your argument is.
I gotta watch
That,
that.
like, I'm not
documentary,
blaming victims, but also at the same time, like there was people trying to stop it from happening.
Yeah.
Like not within the Fire Festival, but like there's reporters and stuff who were
Yeah.
reporting on the thing for weeks in advance, saying this this isn't happening. They don't
Right.
have money. They don't have permits. This is not happening. Don't go. Do
Right.
not go.
Right.
Do not go. And people still got on the planes.
But
I
what-
would.
yeah, I mean, yeah, but like, what if you were like, all right, I won't go. And then they were like, the Fire Fest
Was the
actually
yeah.
happened.
And
it
there's
was
also not
tight.
getting
Yeah.
your money back.
But guess what? No, because there's people who didn't go who then sued and then who won settlements. But people who did go,
They probably got money too. The people that went, of course, they were like more like this. Like I said, I think that those people that were like locked in that airport for like days, like that, they all got paid.
Mhm.
But they should have. Fuck that guy. I
Yeah.
think most of them didn't even get more than what. I think they just got their money back
sure,
and like
that's all they should
very
get,
little.
yeah.
I think they should get more than that. That's so
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah, being screwed over, like wasting time.
Yeah,
all
like a
that,
whole
yeah.
week. I mean, also they're all successful people. They got
Yeah.
that much money.
Mhm.
You waste a whole day of their time. Like
I'm sure all their YouTube videos got millions of hits and they made that money back. And
It's just like YouTube.
you know,
they're all
like,
YouTubers.
like they were all like content creators, you know, and like influencers.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, dude, the thing cost like $20,000 to go.
I know, but I thought that they were mostly like.
I'm
'cause,
sure
like,
there was some like just like people with rich parents and stuff.
Well,
like,
I thought there was like a lot of like young lawyers and like guys like that because they were like
I don't know,
they kind of like made it seem like there's gonna be all these models there. Like they were like there was a
Yeah.
lot of like
But,
oh, this is gonna
yeah.
be
But a lot of it too was like especially in the documentary they show them like, oh, we're stuck in the fucking
Right.
thing, and it was like for their YouTube videos. So those people I'm sure profited
yeah.
hmm
a lot.
Oh man, I got so mad about that doc. Here's a fun one for you. Last night we were at the bar. And we were me, Jeff Z, JC, and Randy, and we're all talking about a certain comedy club that I won't name, and how the one of the guys who owns it is pretty problematic, has had a lot of like issues with comics over the years, which like every owner and booker does, and then now it belongs to a different guy that's taken over, and that guy I thought nobody had problems with, and evidently JC just like went crazy, like just talking about how much he doesn't like him. I was
that guy.
I was actually taken aback. I was like a little shocked because I
Yeah.
didn't think that guy had people that feel that way towards him. Blah blah blah.
Mhm.
So you don't have to say the name, and you don't have to say the owner.
In fact, please don't.
Yeah.
So I don't have to.
What is like your worst comedy club experience? Like, what's somebody who's really just boned you hard or pissed you off? I know you told me one once when we were at like a diner, but I don't know if that was the worst one that's ever happened. The one at the diners where you showed up and they were like,
What the diner one?
remember, like you showed up to. I know we were at a diner and you told me a story about how you went to a gig and the guy's like, "Hey," you like drove super far and the guy's like, "I don't know what to tell you." Like, there's.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah, that guy's an idiot. That was bad. Yeah, because I go there and the guy at the door, he looks at me like he's like, "What are you doing here?" And I'm like, "I'm the show."
What are you doing here? That's the
Like,
worst
when the guy
welcome.
at the
Didn't you
door-
drive like super far?
It was 2.5 hours to get there.
Ugh.
What are you
After
doing
flying
here?
across, like I flew from here to there,
Florida.
to Florida. Then I, got my stuff settled at my family's house. Then I was like, all right, now I have a gig tonight at this thing that's 2.5 hours away. So then I drive down there. Been traveling all day,
Oh no.
and I'm walking up,
Oh no.
and this the guy at the door looks at me like, "What the fuck are you doing
Don't
here?"
you live in California? You're like, yeah, I flew here to do this.
If you're headlining a show, surprise should not be the reaction of the guy working the door when you are walking up. So like, he's like, "Hey man, what are you doing here?" I was like, "The show?
Yeah.
What are you? Yeah, you know the show you're doing? I'm doing
I'm
it."
doing that.
And he's like, "What?"
Oh
Like,
no.
I was like, "I'm supposed to headline the show," and he was like, "Oh, this other guy's doing it." I'm like, "Okay, is the club owner here?" And he was like, "Yeah, he's inside." I'm like, "I'm gonna go murder him."
Yeah, exactly.
And he's like, "Okay." He's just
I
like
would be
has
so
no
mad.
reaction. I was
Yeah.
furious. So then I go in there, and he's like, "Oh, hey man, you want a guest spot?" I'm
Guest spot.
I'm like, "Dude, if I do any amount of time as a guest spot now, the show's over."
Yeah, we're setting it on
That's
fire.
the-
We're bringing it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm show
There will
bomb.
not be a show after I get off stage.
I'm the show grenade. I'm just gonna demolish. I'm driving this thing into the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But you had
And he-
emails from him, right?
yeah, and he tried to blame me. He was like,
You didn't
"Hey
confirm.
man, you gotta confirm." I'm like, "What?"
I knew it.
I did confirm, you idiot. It's on my calendar. And
Yeah.
I was like, "Yes, I will do that day. See you then."
Yeah, what a-
And then that day comes up. I'm here.
And he's like, but I didn't reply to your confirm. You're like, what?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to wiggle out of
I
it.
didn't double confirm. You confirm. You gotta,
I said okay, great, but like I didn't email you again to say, hey, it's definitely happening.
Yeah, it's like we have to send like heart emojis back
Yeah,
every
yeah.
day
Each
until
day
the
just
show.
to keep confirming that it's
Yeah.
still on.
See you then. Yep. All right. Can't wait. Yep. Gonna be
It's
there.
So funny.
It's gonna be sweet. It sure is.
Is that the worst though?
No.
Oh,
That's happened a couple of times.
Oh, no.
That's
That's
just
happened
that
a
guy.
couple of times.
That happened another time with a guy. This guy. Oh, fuck.
Florida comedy, dude.
Yeah,
It's
fucking hate this guy.
it's a thing.
Yeah, I hate this other guy.
This other guy.
Yeah, he had another club, somewhere else, and then he booked me for it. And then I was driving up there. I got like 3.5 hours into the drive, and it was like an 8-hour drive. And I was like messaging him as I was on my way up there. I'm like, hey man, I'll be there like, about an hour before the show starts, about 3 hours out. And he's like, oh, I must have double booked you.
Oh my
I'm
god.
like, okay.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, sorry, man, I'll make it up to you. I literally have not been booked since
Yeah.
to that guy. And then
Have you reached out to him?
I've reached out to him twice. I just haven't done his room because,
Yeah.
if I book a date, I'm not sure it's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's one. He doesn't know how to keep a calendar. And then the other thing is like, if I, it just didn't make financial sense to like
Sure.
fly across the country and then do his room to like, I was featuring at the time. So then now I'm like headlining more. So like, and it's like a lower level club. So I'm like, hey, let me headline it. And that guy has twice sent me like 2 like really negative, like, I don't think you're good.
Oh,
messages.
really?
Yeah, kind of like bullshit.
Why?
Because he's a dick,
That sucks.
Let's
Yeah,
go burn
it's
that
just-
guy's club to the ground.
Yeah, this is insane.
He'll do it himself. With
I
his,
wonder if that's his way of being like this way I don't have to make it up to him. If I just make it sound like, oh,
I don't know, man. I don't know if he remembers or because it's like, yeah, it's real bad.
that's weird.
Yeah.
There's a guy like that in California, we'll say, who's made some crazy decisions, but I think he's an actual like schizophrenic. Like I think he's like bipolar. So like his stories are always the most dramatic and the most crazy, but it's because I think he's actually got like mental problems.
Yeah.
Like to behave the way he does is like you would have to be a crazy person.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so that I don't give him a pass for that, but that's what I keep in mind when I think of it. My worst, and I'll say the club's names. I don't need you to edit this out because it's just like a horrible thing that happened more than a reflection of anything. And also, I don't think they'll ever book me again anyways. And I have no hard feelings, but this is what happened. I was supposed to work Brad Garrett's comedy club for the first time ever in Vegas. I was very excited because Brad Garrett is not only a great dude, but he's very funny, and I've heard he's super accommodating and super generous to his comedians. He also has helped Brant Tobler out a ton. So I've only heard great things about Brad Garrett, and he's all excited. He's like, yeah, we'll co-headline. It'll be me and you, and it'll be that weekend. It'll be Jeff Dye and Brad Garrett at Brad Garrett's comedy club. So I'm like, wow, what a fun first time working this room. It's going to be really great. And I've heard rumors or myths of him being like, they'll be like, bring all your merch. Just bring all your merch because he'll buy it all. He'll buy it from you and then just give it to all the audience members. Like that's how generous he is
Nice.
and how great he is, right? So I'm all excited. I show up the day that, the first day we're supposed to be there. And I'm looking around, and in Vegas, they advertise everything. They advertise all these things. There's real competition for entertainment, so it's everywhere. And all the things keep saying this weekend, Debbie Gutierrez, the comedy mommy, like for Brad Garrett's comedy club. And I'm just like looking at going like, this seems
You're a MILF, dude.
wrong.
Yeah.
Seems real wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's going on. And we're at a point in our career when you like seeing your face up on things. You like
Sure.
seeing your name in lights. Like it gets you excited. Like, hey, there I am, or whatever. So I'm confused. And I check in with the club, and they're like, "Oh yeah, sorry, Brad Garrett had to. He's got to shoot a thing. He's got like shooting this thing in L.A., which is what they must just say anytime Brad Garrett's like busy or has to cancel. Like just say you're shooting something,
Yeah.
Like if you don't reply to someone's text in time, just be like, I was in a meeting. You weren't in a meeting. You haven't replied. You're busy. So I think he was shooting something, and instead of me still headlining, which is fine. I'm very capable of doing that. I had to feature for Debbie Gutierrez. So it's just like a huge booking flaw.
Yeah.
And not to be a dick, but I haven't featured in a long time. And they're like, well, don't worry, you'll get paid the same. I was like, it's not about the money. It's about having to do 20 minutes only once a night for 7 nights in a row. And the headliner's Debbie Gutierrez. I got people that wanted to come see me perform. This whole thing is supposed to be like a fun Vegas weekend. And so it put me in a mood. It put me in a real, my ego was hurt. And I was like feeling a little like, this is bullshit. Like, this is so good. They made me go to press with Debbie Gutierrez, but they didn't talk to me once. They just talked to Debbie, and Debbie's plugging her like mom stuff and like being like, "Oh, I come down to the club this week," and she's kind of patronizing me a little bit, like, "Why is my middle act being such a baby?" You know, because she thinks I'm a middle act. She has no idea what's happened and the whole misunderstanding. So I was a brat and pouty, and I bombed every show. Not because of my attitude, but because her crowd is like old and like Mexican and it's Vegas, so they're even older, and they want to see mom humor, you know.
Yeah.
So I bomb each show, not horribly, but I just don't do that great.
Yeah.
And then the woman who made the booking error, who ran that club, she was like, "Don't worry." She said to my agents, like, "We're gonna make up for this. We feel really bad. We could tell that Jeff wasn't very happy this weekend. We're gonna make this right." This is what reminded me of it, because they said he'd make it up to you. So I finally I get back, and I was just like, what a week. I mean, just a long week in Vegas, you know? So then I get back. It's like a couple months later, maybe even like a month later, we reach out like, "Hey, let's figure out another Vegas time for Jeff." And the same woman replies, "We won't be having Jeff back. He didn't, he wasn't that strong on stage." And I was just like, "But you said," I thought, like, I was just so,
my God.
I was so frustrated. Never worked it again. Since then, the manager of the club died, and the guy who didn't like me, and the new lady who's take over is like a friend of mine who used to manage over at Zanies, like
We
in
went
Chicago.
there, didn't we?
Yeah, Cindy.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Nice.
and I still think they won't book me. Like, I've gotten like no even like remote like, I don't know. But that was the worst.
But now
thing.
there's Jimmy Kimmel, all right?
And that club's fantastic.
Yeah.
I worked Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club, I think 2 weeks ago, or maybe even
Yeah, I think it's 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, and it was fantastic. So that'll be like my Vegas home now, anyways.
Nice.
So I got a spot, but that was the worst thing. I'm trying to think if there's anything worse. I just feel like comedy clubs always have the best stories. Just like some sort of, like, these bookers are insane. They're like crazy people.
I did a show that was real bad once. It was like one of the first times I like featured. I'd been doing comedy maybe like a year.
Mm-hmm.
And this one guy, there was like a road guy out in Florida. He saw me host a show. And he was like, "Hey man, you're great. I'm going to help you get like feature work and stuff."
Nice.
And at the time I was like, "Oh my God, that would be
All
amazing."
my prayers are answered.
Yeah. I'm like, this is all I want to do. Like, I love this. And so he set me up with this guy that knew a place in Rincon, Georgia.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I can already tell that club won't be good.
Yeah, it's not a
Rincon,
club.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a restaurant
It's
that
like
they put a
bar.
stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
It's
called,
like that. It's like Tapper.
I'm
It's
telling you.
dude, it's at a biker bar called Alibis.
Oh my God.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. Hey, I didn't murder anybody. I was at Alibis.
Yeah.
So he puts me up in touch with the guy there. And then at the time, the guy's like, "All right, you're doing the show. You get a hotel room. You get free food. You get $100." And I was like, "Oh my God,
This is the dream.
I made it."
Yeah.
Well, that is great.
Yeah.
That's everything.
Yeah.
In comedy, food, and
Just the fact that, I
Everything.
mean, like, when I first started comedy, they're like, "Hey, man, we didn't make much money tonight. Can I pay you in nachos?" And I was like, "Yeah."
yeah,
I'm just going to buy nachos anyway. It's like that. Like, I was like so happy
Yeah.
about it. It didn't
Yeah.
bother me at all.
yeah. So I go down there, and then
$100.
I'm checking into the hotel, and I'm like, "Oh."
I'm the
This-
comedian.
The first time I get to check into a hotel and be like, "Hey, I'm the comedian,"
Yeah.
you know? And then the lady at the desk was like, "What? You're not, what are you talking about?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"I thought is this not the hotel where the comedian goes?" And she goes, "There's already a comedian here." And I'm
Oh,
like,
no.
"Fucking kidding me?"
This has been a
was like,
pattern in your life.
Well, this was the first time.
Okay,
Because
but
this is like
still.
an early featuring for me. So, and then she goes, "Hold on a second." Calls the guy that like booked it. Then she goes, "Hey, sorry, you're all squared away. Here." And then she like hands me the phone. She's like, "The guy wants to talk to you." I'm like, "Okay." And then I get the phone, and then the guy goes, "Hey man, I'm sorry, dude. Sorry about that. We're all good to go, but I want to tell you, we're gonna postpone the show by 30 minutes." I was
That's
like,
fine.
I was like, "Okay." is everything okay? He's like, yeah, man. Just everybody's gonna be coming from a funeral, so I was like,
Oh
what?
no!
Everybody's coming from a funeral? He's
The
like,
entire audience?
yeah. And he's like, yeah, man.
A
you
biker
know,
funeral.
yeah. And he's like, it's gonna be fine. Like, this guy Chet loved to laugh. So I'm like, well, he's not here.
Yeah.
He's not here. Oh,
So-
shit, we could have used him.
Yeah.
We're doing a goddamn comedy show.
Also, no one at a funeral is like, man, we gotta go.
Yeah, but comedy show.
The comedy show at
That
the bar.
is horrible.
Yeah, so I get there.
I still want to know about this other comic that's in the hotel.
That was the guy that I was opening for, the headliner guy.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. He was awesome. His name's Mike Spienberg. He was cool. So
He's
I get
huge
there.
at alibis, I've heard.
I get there. I'm in the back of the room. It's chaotic biker bar. I walk in. There's a projection of the guy that had died
Oh, no,
on
it's
the
like-
stage.
Headshot.
Yeah.
God.
And it was like it must have been like a bike accident or something like that. People were up there giving their man. Chet loved his motorcycle.
Oh, God.
Like, yeah. And then some guy goes up there and he's playing sad songs on the guitar and like, telling stories about Chet. And I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck? And like,
So
this
it
is-
was a second funeral.
yeah. So then,
Exactly. Yeah, you're about to die.
and I know it. I'm like, fuck. And then the guy that's like booked the show, he's also the host of the
Oh, of
thing.
course. Well, at least he's in there with you.
And he goes,
And if he's the host, he has to go first. That's great.
exactly. And he's like, dude, don't worry about it, bro. I used to do theaters in the 80s. I'm going to go up there. I'm going to rip shit up. It's going to be a cakewalk for you,
I
dude.
used to do theaters in the 80s.
I like this guy's confidence, though.
Yeah. I know, but
I'm going to rip shit up, dude. I'm going to make you look like a star, boy.
also, he did theaters in the 80s. Like, Jerry
Yeah.
Seinfeld did theaters in the 80s, still doing theaters.
You went backwards.
What did he do?
Why are you at
in those
Alibis?
Yeah.
theaters? So he goes up and he's like, all right, he tells me, I'm gonna do 15 minutes, dude. I'm gonna wreck shit. It's gonna be awesome. And right before he goes up, the guy plays one more sad song. And he's like, all right, everybody, let's have a moment of silence for Chet.
Oh,
Hey, everybody. Hey, and we're at a loud bar. Hey, everybody, shut the fuck up. Chet. Then he holds his beer up,
Chet.
tilts his head, moment of silence. All right, everybody, enjoy the show.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Surely will.
fucking he
People
goes up
love
there.
being deep like that, don't they? They just
It's
love that.
ridiculous. So then the host guy goes up and he goes, all right, everybody. Welcome to the stage, Jeff Zenisek.
Oh,
Bailed.
my God.
Fucking and I'm like,
Yeah.
So I run up there. I'm like, hey guys, I eat shit, dude. I eat all of the shit.
Yeah.
And,
And they're just looking at you like, oh,
yeah.
it's so
on Chet's
bad.
big day. You know?
Yeah.
I am bombing so hard.
Yeah, but I bet Chet was laughing from
It was
No.
from on high.
I bet he
At
wasn't.
the scenario, not
maybe,
the
yeah,
joke.
maybe.
it was like I couldn't even. There was like there's nowhere to bomb to.
Right.
You know, I heard an audible next.
Oh,
from
no.
someone.
Oh,
my God. You know, and the worst part about it,
Yikes.
the whole time, my body was illuminated by the projection of the man
Of
that
Chet.
had died.
Oh,
Chet,
no.
they
never turned
They
it
didn't
off.
turn it
Chet
off.
overlooking.
So I'm just like performing in his.
Image.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
That's
bad.
tragic.
Yeah.
When that Angels pitcher died in that car accident, we did like a benefit show for it at Comedy Magic Club.
Yeah.
And the parents felt like they needed to be there if the club was going to do such a nice thing to like raise money for them. They're like, we should show up. But the problem is it was so fresh. It was like the day afterwards. You could hear crying in the audience at Comedy Magic Club. And the rest of the crowd was like friends and family, you know, so they're all going through a really tough time. And Richard's like, just don't do any drinking jokes. Like, oh, this is, you know, like just fucking stay in the pocket, be clean, be happy,
Yeah.
be positive. And literally during my set, you know, nobody bombed or anything. All the comics really did well, but you could hear weeping.
Oh,
Like, it's
my
like, just,
God.
this is so bad.
dude, that's tragic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough.
Comedy in the beginning is a lot like that. We had a Patreon person. I'm going to look up her name. She actually said that she likes when we talk about stand-up comedy because she's starting stand-up comedy.
Nice.
Her name is
Is she starting in town here or in somewhere else?
I don't know. Let's find it. She was super sweet though. She's like, yeah, I like that you guys talked about stand-up comedy because I'm starting to do stand-up comedy.
Hopefully she's not starting here.
Yeah.
I don't think she's starting in California. I think she's. I
It's
think
a tough place to start.
Yeah, it's
let's
rough
do
to
some
start,
Patreon shout-outs real quick while I have this up. Lindsay Gray, we love you. She's been to more of my comedy shows than anyone in my career, and she's a loyal Patreon subscriber. I love her and her
We
family.
love her very much.
Tori Cook, what's up? Jennifer Marsh, Stan Low, Ashley Bowers, Jelena. This might be the girl. No, but hi, Jelena. It's not you. And then Clyde the Glide's on here. And
Who's it gonna be?
I don't know. Why can't I find it?
Dun, 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 dun.
It's really weird. I saw that they
Dun, dun,
messaged
dun,
me.
dun.
Maybe it's her.
Dun, 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 dun,
Shied?
dun, dun,
Nope,
dun,
it's not Shied.
Dun, 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 dun.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna find it.
Dun, dun, dun. They message you on Patreon,
Yeah,
which is a great reason to get the Patreon.
that's the
just
best part
sign
of
up.
Patreon. Is I talk to everybody on here.
Direct contact
Maybe it's Ashley
with the
Bowers.
old jackpot.
Last man standing. How funny is that? I don't know. Anyways, thanks for all the Patreon subscribes.
We love you guys.
We love you guys. You guys are keeping this in business. Yeah, got some Christmas gifts coming out for you guys too, which I'm excited to start packing up and sending. Actually, I'm not excited to pack them up
Yeah, that's not
or
the fun.
send them. That's not the fun part.
That's not the fun part at
Yeah,
all.
But I like
Excited for you to receive them.
creating them, and I'm
Yeah.
excited for you guys to receive them. But it is pretty tedious printing up the addresses and
Yeah.
doing all that.
Yeah.
That part's not fun. What else is cooking, bud? Let's do a fuck, marry, kill, huh?
Okay.
Fuck, marry, kill. Ken Griffey Jr., Mark McGuire, Barry Bonds. Because you're a baseball guy and you love home runs.
Okay.
Loves
okay.
dingers, dude.
All right, we got Mark McGuire, Barry
Yeah.
Bonds.
Ken Griffey
Griffey.
Jr.
Okay.
Home run killers in the 90s.
Yeah.
Great YouTube
And
videos, too. If
2000s.
you want to go to YouTube, go, hey, Ken Griffey Jr. home run compilation. It's going to be a best hour of your life. Mark McGuire, home run compilation. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like kill would be Mark McGuire.
Okay.
Just because I feel like,
You don't want to seem racist?
no. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously
But
I do.
also,
but-
yeah, like by
but-
picking a white guy means you,
Yeah.
Dude, it's
you have to hate all the
Dude,
white people
it's
or you're
2019.
racist. You're like,
It's
that doesn't make
2019.
any
No,
sense.
2019.
actually, you know, kill the other two guys. Just Mark.
It's 2019.
Just Mark. Yeah. That'd be racist.
Yeah.
Marry Mark, kill, and
Yeah.
kill Barry Bonds. is
Okay,
great.
so you're going to kill Mark McGuire.
Yeah, because I feel like he's pretty, like, you know, he's very into the. I mean, I don't know. I guess Barry Bonds is pretty heavy in the steroids
Yeah, they're
allegations
all-
too.
So
Ken
all those
Griffey
players,
wasn't
not Griffey,
really-
but all those players of that generation. Is,
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like Mark McGuire kind of like his pop was clearly because of steroids.
you think so? I don't think so.
You don't think
his-
so?
See,
So strong.
both
He
of
was
those
great,
two. Yeah,
but,
but
like-
their bodies changed so much.
Dude, he looked
Right, but I
those
think
two
ridiculous.
specifically.
Just if I can
Not-
for a second.
Well, yeah, Barry Bonds, yeah, but
If I can for a second, let's remember we're playing Fuck, Marry, Kill. All right? This isn't like a sports podcast where
Yeah.
we're diving deep on the steroids nonsense.
yeah.
Right.
Who would you kill? Who would you marry? Who would you fuck?
Well, I would okay.
Kill Mark.
Yeah.
Who you fucking?
Yeah, I like it.
Who am I fucking?
Edgy producer Tony's chipping in. Still in character.
I'll,
yeah. Who you fucking? You need like a cigar. Not
I'd
even
probably-
lit.
Well, just a
it's
fake
tough.
one, I guess.
I'd fuck Barry Bonds,
Okay.
All right.
and then I'd marry Ken Griffey because I think
Good.
Ken Griffey.
Good.
Yeah, I
he
know.
seems like
I
the
think he's
best dude.
too much of a diamond in this thing. Everyone's gonna marry Griffey.
Yeah.
So I would marry Griffey. I'd fuck Mark McGuire, and I'd kill Barry Bonds.
Oh, why would you fuck Mark McGuire?
I like him a lot. He was cool.
You think he's cute?
I wish I could marry both of them, to be honest. Mark McGuire, for me as a kid, was like this larger than life, like cartoon figure, like Popeye forearms. He would just crush dingers.
Yeah.
Wasn't he?
He
a,
almost made me cry. One time we were at the Kingdom, and he hit 2 home runs in the same game, but one of them hit the back of the Kingdom.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
crazy.
Like, nobody knew you could do that. We had Griffey on our
That's
team,
you
and
can't.
Mark McGuire hit the back
You
of
can't
the
do that.
Kingdom.
Yeah.
He's an alien.
I love
Was
it.
he? He was a Gold Glove first baseman, right?
Who, Mark?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Did he ever
Maybe
win a Gold Glove?
maybe in Oakland.
Yeah.
when he was not as beefy and could actually move a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also never thought, like, I mean, here's the thing. I had a great conversation, name drop, with Robin Ventura 2 weeks ago, maybe.
Fuck yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
dude, we're good friends now, me and Robin
Nice.
Ventura. He's a cool ass dude. We like literally text flirt back and forth because I'm just like so happy to be his friend.
You got his
I'm
glasses.
like, I'm Robin Ventura. I'm texting Robin Ventura.
Yeah.
He's so funny and cool. He changed my position a little bit on steroids. See, I used to think, so what? It's not like a huge deal. Like you just whatever. I think a lot of it's placebo. Like you're like, I'm taking a steroid. Like I'm so much stronger. Blah blah blah.
Definitely
And
works.
also being like Mark McGuire looked pretty jacked in 1988. Also,
He was lean, though.
but he was also young. So like you gain weight and you get like look at me in an image now and what I looked like when I was like 21, and
Yeah.
you'd be like, look how much bigger Jeff got. We're
Yeah, but-
spanning like a decade.
Yeah,
Like
but
so
your
it's like-
head is the same circumference.
I know, but
it
nobody's talking about
was.
his head. They're talking about his muscles and
Yeah,
stuff. You're like, but here's the thing: Mark McGuire and Barry Bonds have had access to the best gyms and equipment and facilities for 15 Major League Baseball seasons. He's going to be stronger if he's doing the trusting the process and doing like the system.
Yeah.
So it's like they're gonna get stronger, of course.
Yeah.
And also like they're making them do that now. Like they're saying like, oh, these young guns, you know, you got to keep up with them. You need to get stronger. So I never really subscribed to the visual aspect of it. Look at Craig Biggio. He clearly did steroids, and nobody thinks he did because he's little. Well, that's not how you test for steroids, by just judging a guy's height and weight. Like you should be checking like their blood, like checking their piss. Like that's how you.
Yeah, but you're not gonna get like bopped for steroids for like, oh, he started crushing a bunch of doubles.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Like-
Yeah, but I mean, there are. It's just like I think. But anyways, so that used to be my position, and then
Yeah.
Robin Ventura was like, "No, trust me, dude, it helps." And I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "It helps. Like you become a better baseball player." And I was like, "But," and he's like, "There's no buts. Like that. Like watch guys. Literally, their batting average goes up 100 points.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I guarantee you, it's not as innocent as you're making it sound." And I was like, "All right." And I have to change my position. He's Robin Ventura.
Yeah.
Like you know, obviously.
What's he know?
the greatest. But he was so freaking cool and nice, and he was saying some interesting things about certain players and stuff like that. I was suspect to even bring up steroids around him, but you know, I
Yeah.
wanted to.
I would love to know what he feels about this Astros thing, because I think that's a huge deal.
Oh shit!
Just
yeah.
being a former baseball player. If I knew a fucking piece of shit changeup was coming,
Yeah,
I would.
or a fastball.
Well, yeah.
I feel like if
the
we
idea is
had
that-
information about what pitch is coming
Oh
next,
my
we
gosh.
could all
'Cause that
we
was-
could
Not
all
me,
crush.
but
Dude, that was-
but definitely a Major League Baseball player.
that was the hardest part, is because you have no time to decide. So like, you know, most of the time I'd just be like sitting on a certain pitch, especially if, you know, you're up on the count, you sit
Yep.
on a pitch. If you see it, you swing at it.
Mhm.
If you know for sure
Yeah,
that a
dude.
pitch is coming.
And I never played at either of the levels that you guys played at, and I was definitely not as good as you guys when I played. But I can identify with this just purely playing baseball video games. Like
Yeah.
when you know a fastball's coming,
Yeah.
you know when to swing it. And when you know a changeup's coming, you know when to swing.
Yeah.
And so like it's that obvious.
It's
like there's a big
crazy.
difference in your step
Yeah.
and everything. Like or not your step, but like the timing of it.
Yeah.
So I'm too innocent, or I'm not innocent. I'm too naive when it comes to this stuff.
That's
Like I
the-
didn't care about the Astros thing. I don't care about steroids. I don't
You
give a
should, because
shit
that's
about.
the idea of a changeup. The idea of a changeup is it looks like a fastball,
Right.
because you think you're sitting on fastball and you can get out in front. So if you know a changeup's coming, you just sit on it. It's just batting practice.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
all it is.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's fucked.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
One for Altuve, like when he knows it's a fastball, like he's like his success rate is like insane.
Well, they showed their, like, during that 2017 postseason, their home and away splits.
Mhm.
People were batting like 400 at home, batting like
Yeah,
0.83 on the
it's
road.
crazy, dude.
Like, yeah.
See, that's
It's
crazy.
fucking nuts.
Like even Altuve, he batted like 500 at home that postseason, and he batted like 150 on the road.
So there's
Dude,
something
it's like
I heard.
they're playing baseball on the road, and then at home they're playing super mega baseball too.
Which is a great game. We should play that after
so
this.
fun.
What I was gonna say is that I heard that the only punishment that will come of it is you know, after they're doing all their things and the sanctions come in, it'll be like like $1.5 million fine or something like that,
I don't know.
which is that's ridiculous.
I don't think
because
so.
that'd be worth the fine if you can play that
Right.
good and win
That's
a World
what-
Series and.
There's been other reports that say like they can bring the hammer down, like they can take away their championship, which I don't
What does
know.
that even mean?
But also,
History will always remember him.
but
as
you're
the-
also looking at like
Yeah.
suspensions for like AJ Hinch, the coach, like being
So
banned or whatever.
Nothing
Players
should happen to the players, though, right?
I think they should.
I think they should too.
suffer.
Really?
You know,
but they won't. That's what I'm saying. So
Some-
there's a
Yeah, but
difference
it's
between
like
what
if-
I think should happen and what I heard is going to happen. And what I heard is going to happen makes me go, well, why not just cheat then if that's all they're going to do? Because, I mean, you make more than $1.5 million in a single day of making it to a World Series.
Yeah.
Like you sell out every seat when nobody else is going to the other parks
I think
because
if they
that's
can
the
prove-
you're
It's a big
in the
deal.
World
Yeah,
Series.
I think if they can prove that they used technology,
Right.
which is what is
That's the rule.
illegal,
Mhm.
right? Sign stealing's fine if you're on
Right.
second
If you can
base.
figure it out.
If I can read it, yeah. But if they can do that, if they can prove it, I think they'll bring the hammer down.
I always think about it like with Reggie Bush's like
Just like
Heisman Trophy.
nip it in the bud.
Like when they took away his Heisman Trophy for taking money, I guess, from boosters, which
Yeah.
everyone fucking does. It still says he's the Heisman Trophy winner. It has like a little star by it.
Little
So
asterisk,
what?
yeah.
And then he still has the trophy at his house. They didn't come pick up the trophy.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, what really is the punishment? And
Yeah.
In fact, anything, it's just you're getting more attention brought to you. Like now, everyone remembers that he won the Heisman Trophy because everyone's talked about it. That it's like, I don't think these sports are very good at punishing teams that cheat or do these things, which makes people want to cheat and do these things because the punishment isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I think they got to set a precedent.
Look at the Chicago Black Sox. I mean, why aren't we doing to the Astros what happened to them? They cheated.
Yeah.
And they got removed from baseball. Like,
Yeah.
what if they did that to the Astros? Just say, oh, you're not an organization anymore.
Yeah.
But okay.
I don't think they'll do that, but
But
they'll.
what if?
They can set them back a long way by suspending players, banning coaches, like can fuck their
Yeah, for
organization.
the future. But they won what? How many games? I mean, like they screwed over our Mariners. Not really. We would have never made it anyways.
Right.
But they're in our division and made us feel pretty
Who knows?
hopeless.
We missed the playoffs by like 1 or 2 games a couple of those years.
Yeah, a few of
so
those
if you know we lost to the Astros like 10 fucking times.
Yeah.
You take 3 of those games and give us wins, we're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You never know. But you're right. I don't know. I think they
Yeah.
gotta bring the hammer down.
I hope
Do
that they
you-
bring the hammer down. I just, from what I've heard, I'm disappointed with what I heard they might do. Is what
yeah. Guess we'll see.
I think they should change the rule.
What do you mean?
Well, like technology exists.
Right.
Why
Yeah,
not
but then
just-
but then at that
get-
point,
okay,
what-
you can.
you're taking the
You
essence
want
of the
them to
game.
be able to do that?
Well, no, but here's the problem: people do it anyway. So it's like
One team
you
did
can.
it.
One team got caught doing it because
Right.
they won,
Right.
right? Other teams probably did it. They probably weren't as good, but
I know that the Red
This
Sox
happened with
stole
the-
signs,
They
but
used-
they didn't use.
they used-
They did use
They
technology.
use Apple Watches.
Which is technology
Here's
for
the
something,
thing,
yeah.
though. It's like, why can't the pitcher and catcher also use technology? You got an Apple Watch, you're a catcher. Fucking just
yeah.
like if
We're
everybody
trying to speed
uses
up the game though. We're not
technology-
trying to send
How would the pitcher and catcher be able to do that?
you
You
could have
and me communicate with an Apple Watch.
It
Boom.
could-
I'll
I could
text you.
s-
I'm going to throw a fastball.
or it's
Who's
even
gonna
like-
steal that sign?
it could even be
Unless
like
you're a
vibration
hacker
too.
Yeah.
In the fucking
It can even
stands.
be like 1 buzz is going to be a fastball, 2 buzzes, and
The
you
problem
feel it
is-
or something.
You're like they got a guy out in the outfield with binoculars watching
Yeah.
me go 1 fastball, 2 curveball.
Which is interesting too. Like, why I'm guessing that what I'm about to say has already been solved. I'm just asking you if you know. That 1 isn't always fastball for every team.
True,
It's not.
It can't be.
That's
No.
true, but like
You change up your signs. You
Right,
each
yeah.
team has like 5 or 6 different sets, and then you change it up when there's runners on second because they can see.
Sure.
Then it gets really elaborate. You throw down a bunch of numbers. Like 1's an indicator, so it's like you throw down like a 3 that means something. So then that means
The next 2 are like
that's
decoys.
the third set of. Well, I throw down a 3 first. That means we're using the third set of signs,
But you're-
which means curveball 1, fastball 2.
And then if you're at second,
et
you've
cetera.
got to come up. We've not only got to decode that, but you've got to come up with your own signal to give to that batter
right.
per pitch. I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah, it would be like for us, like when it was easier, like in high school, and people don't have like elaborate signs. If I could see fastball, it'd be like hands closed, fastball, hands open. But I'm not batting,
See,
looking at the fucking
everyone
runner.
is stealing signs. You
No,
see what I'm
that's
saying?
trying.
Everybody
That's
is
trying.
trying to steal signs.
It's different
So,
than
but-
having a camera zoomed in on
That's-
the catcher.
Okay, what I'm saying though is like, okay, sure, you can use technology to try to steal my sign. As a defense, I can also use technology to not let you steal the sign.
Right.
So it's like, why not just everybody
'Cause
embrace
that's
technology?
more complicating than just
It's not that
eliminating
complicated
the
though.
technology.
Me going 1 or 2 versus me going.
Okay, but then what
like
happens?
setting up
What
an app
happens
on my
when
phone and tapping
a
it.
battery dies or something? Now they're like, oh, now I can't get my signs. You know, it's like
That's a cool World Series story.
and
The catcher forgot to charge his phone.
the story would
because he was
be
out
now the
doing
story would
coke.
be he'd have to go old school. They're like, is he putting down fingers?
yeah.
He's gone old school.
Then
Yeah.
people
Well,
wouldn't
my
even know
Apple
what
Watch
to do.
died. Well, and that's the thing is
Because
like
then you got to do that in every sport. Because then there's going to be players players that
But the technology is happening, so why aren't we using it?
Well,
I just don't understand.
They should be
why.
saying, "Hey, this is an age-old game. It's like America's pastime. We're trying to change as little as possible. Why can't we just keep an honor system that we're not going to use technology to steal signs?"
Yeah,
in fact,
that's the
I
point.
bet they wish that
Yeah,
nobody would
but-
be stealing signs on second base. But because, if you're smart enough to figure that out, they'll let it slide. I bet they want them to not even do that. But that's tougher to police.
Yeah.
And so they just go, if they can do that, then let them try to do that. And now it's like these smart nerds that are in the back office going, well, what if we get an iPad and we zoom on?
Yeah.
That's evil. That's not smart. That's not like an evolution of technology into baseball. It's just you cheating. You're latently cheating.
Yes, that is. I know it's happening,
Right.
but I'm just saying, like, the adaptation would just be to embrace technology and let.
Yeah. I mean, they
Like-
have embraced
Because then it's
technology
the same
in
way.
baseball.
Because it's the same way. Like quarterbacks get to wear helmets with microphone or with speakers
Yeah.
on to get the plays, but it cuts off at 25 seconds on the play clock. That'd be the same as like just let them have the speaker all the time. But then you got an eye in the sky, so if they can hear the whole time, and then the guy's just like, oh. Tyler Lockett's open, and then
Right.
he just throws it deep because he knows he's
Yeah,
open.
it seems
Instead
like-
of, like you can take all the athleticism out of sports this way.
Well, now that's the thing. Then it becomes a big video game instead of athletes competing on a physical level.
Yeah.
I think they're still competing at a physical level.
But,
That's still
they
happening.
wouldn't be as much as it would become now strategy.
That's what makes Tom Brady great is he can read a defense and see it. If he has that they just have an eye in the sky and they can keep the headset on the whole time.
Edelman,
He
throw
can,
Edelman.
he
You know,
can
like,
make, oh,
and
they're
he
in
just goes-
cover 2. Oh, they're in cover 1. Like,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
like
I guess, but I mean,
any caveman can get out there and throw a ball if
But
they're
with
told where to
baseball,
throw
I mean, it's not like just using technology to illustrate signs to the catcher and pitcher. Like that's really not that crazy.
It's not the same, yeah.
Yeah.
As are the examples we
like
were just using.
talking
But
and-
still, I think it does. It introduces a more complicated thing. They're going to find a way to steal that. Or they're going to find a way to, there'll be something where we'll be going, oh, we didn't think about that flaw. Like, it's just
Yeah,
better just
but-
keep baseball
The
as it is.
The pitcher's on the thing
But we're
looking at a
dealing
sign and it goes, Red Sox joined the conversation. No!
Yeah.
Like,
Oh damn it! My wife's texting me. Fuck.
That'd be amazing.
Hold on, guys.
Yeah,
My wife
exactly.
is
Like,
texting
I
me,
get a text from my wife, like, "You're doing great,
Yeah,
honey."
stop,
Like, well,
stop.
it's not. This isn't. I'm working.
Let's look at Instagram on the thing.
But also, that's the thing is, like, I think that they're just trying to keep sports the way they've been for a long time.
Yeah.
Unless it's gonna better the game.
Technology
don't- I
should
mean,
be
don't
used
you
for
think-
safety.
But don't you
Make
think the
things safe.
replay has helped? Right?
I love the replay.
Yeah, the
and I
replay's
love
great.
I love the computer strike zone that shows how
Everybody-
good our umpires are. We should be giving umpires more credit.
Yeah,
They're
they are
good.
pretty good. Yeah, they are pretty
It's
good.
insane how good they are.
Remember when the refs went on strike and they had like high school refs? And
Yeah,
how
the replacement
bad
refs.
that was? Oh
that,
my
that
god,
really helped the Seahawks. That,
that was
was
fucking
but that,
great.
I still say that's a touchdown. People don't like when I say that, but I still say that's a
yeah,
touchdown.
so
Yeah,
I'll take it. But and
gets
it
it,
got the
comes
refs.
down.
It got the refs back.
Corin Robinson, right?
No, that was
It
no,
got
it was
the
Gold Tate.
refs.
Oh, it's Golden Tate?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I love it. It's so good.
Yeah.
it's funny.
Wait, what was I going to talk about right after that? We were talking about baseball. Shit.
Technology.
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 That's what I call it. Technology.
I don't know. I just think that there should be. Technology is happening. We should embrace it in sport, and like people
You're
should
wrong.
use it.
Fuck you.
You know?
You're wrong.
People are using it anyway, so it's like it's
And they
getting
should
more and
be.
more
I
convenient
know,
to
but I
do
think
it.
it's-
So it's like
I think it's less convenient to do what you're suggesting.
It's gonna take
I don't
way
think so.
longer.
It's not.
It is.
How hard is it
Not
to
even
go
longer.
Like if you have an app on your phone,
Yeah.
that, like I'm sure big,
How
like,
often do these devices not work on us? A lot of the time.
not very. We're recording a podcast.
Yeah,
that's
and we
gonna
have
go out
technical
very
issues
quick.
every goddamn week.
Lots of problems.
Yes, sure, problems happen, but baseball is not a podcast. Okay.
I guess, and they're like, wouldn't it? I'm thinking of it from like a business standpoint. If I own Major League Baseball, if I'm like the commissioner, right?
Mhm.
It is easier to just say, don't stop using technology,
Yeah.
and
Yes,
if we catch you,
exactly.
we're gonna punish you.
Yeah.
Not going, hey, maybe we introduce these sanctioned, like we're gonna find, but buy 700 Apple Watches for all the pitchers and catchers.
Yeah.
We'll distribute them. Don't tamper with them. We're gonna do a thing so you can't get.
We're gonna develop an app for our team.
Yeah, like also like how easy it would be to like have a coach start sending you shit out to you as like a catcher or pitcher because you're using your stupid watch. Like it just introduces more opportunities for cheating somehow.
I don't know,
It's
man.
easier to just go, Nobody uses technology. If we catch you, we punish you.
It sucks though, because it's like, all right, now all three of them have to have a conversation. Now the fat coach has to walk out in his pajamas,
then
look
you
like
got
an
this.
idiot.
Now you're playing. We're the home team. You're the visitors coming in. I have access to your fucking clubhouse. I go in and steal one of your watches. Now I'm sitting in the dugout and I'm reading your texts.
Yeah, some sort of. I think it adds more problems.
Yeah, there's always room for.
Yes, there's always going to be people trying to break the rules. I get it, but I'm saying,
what is your commitment to wanting these watches? How does it better the game?
It just makes it adaptable to how things are now.
Adaptable to how one team's been cheating, who shouldn't be cheating. So now the whole goddamn league has to adjust.
Why not just play the entire game in VR at this point?
We don't want the.
Is that what you want?
We don't want the Astros thing to happen again. So we'll just change all this other shit that adds all these other questions.
I don't even watch baseball anymore. I just watch do the MLB, the show, and I just.
That's the funny thing about this conversation. I know he's not super attached to this conversation anyways.
No, I do think that the technology
I don't know why you want to
used.
die on this hill.
I don't know. Darvish got boned. He might have lost millions of dollars because of this thing.
Yeah.
Because they thought he was tipping pitches back in the World Series. And turns out he wasn't tipping pitches. They were cheating and stealing signals. So Darvish doesn't get a big contract to come back. Everyone calls him a choke artist for years.
Wow.
He gets kind of fished around the league as far as like, do we really want to sign a guy who's not as reliable in clutch situations? And it's all because those little twats were using an iPad to steal signs from the catcher. Not even Darvish's fault.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just think that it introduces more problems. Technology.
I would love we would do inter-squad scrimmages and we'd have like a real douchebag on our team who was pitching that none of us liked. So like the catcher would straight up like Space Jam it, like tell me what pitch was coming.
So you guys are all talking about scenarios of cheating.
Yeah, but
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm saying
I'm saying technology should be
I'm saying that how important this cheating is. The catcher would tell me, he's like, what do you want? I'd be like, fastball, low and outside. And he would call that so I knew it was coming and I would mash off of him. So it does make
it helps. Yeah, we know we determined that it helps.
Yeah.
But here's my problem: is that you had a pitcher on your team pitching against you
in a squad scrimmage.
Oh, like in a scrimmage.
Yeah.
Well, then who gives a shit about that score,
exactly.
anyways?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the catcher's like, I don't fucking like this guy either.
Yeah,
so.
it's not like it's not like Yadier Molina's gonna do that for a Phillies player.
No.
I hate our pitcher. What pitch do you want? So that's not gonna happen, Jeff. Don't worry.
Yeah.
He's not helping
that.
your argument.
No, I'm not. Only if Michael Jordan's at the play.
I will tell you this: getting to golf with all these old baseball players. Forgive me for saying old, but older guys that I looked up to when I was younger. Holy shit! The things that they were sharing with me were so funny. I won't tell you the Major League Baseball player, but I will tell you he's a Hall of Famer and he's a really cool guy. I'll tell you guys his name after this guy. I just know he wouldn't like me sharing this story with his name in it. We get to one of the holes, and that hole's sponsored by Bentley. And so Bentley's trying to get into more man stuff. They're trying to sell like golf clubs and get into like, kind of more possessions besides just cars, like high-end golf clubs, high-end cologne, things like that. So Bentley's got some clubs. They're $16,000 clubs, and they're supposed to be like the cream of the crop. I wouldn't buy it. Like, I'm going to get like real golf clubs.
Yeah.
I don't want like, Tesla shoes. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense just because that brand name's on it. Doesn't make me want
charge my shoes.
I don't know,
it's so
dude.
weird.
Plug my
Well, if it
shoes
did
in.
something, that's different. But if it just said Tesla on the shoes, I'm like, I don't want that.
What if they looked real cool?
Maybe, I
They
guess.
had little
But these clubs,
flamethrowers in them.
I can't assume they're going to perform as well as like Nike or something just because
Maybe.
it's a car company. It's very weird. So anyways, we're all just kind of chatting about the clubs because they did look very cool. They had like a good flash look to them. And then this baseball player, he goes, I had a Bentley once. And the guy that's from Bentley goes, oh, really? And he goes, yeah, and I'm not even like a flashy car guy. It's just like my wife bought it for me, which means I bought it for me, which was the greatest line.
Yeah.
And he goes, it was just like the commercial. Came downstairs Christmas morning, big bow on top. She's like, honey, come out into the driveway. And it's just a Bentley. I literally looked over and I wanted to punch her in the face. We were laughing so hard because it's like, yeah, what are you doing? You bought me a car with my own money that's like $500,000.
Wow.
I would be furious. I'd be like, we're going back to the dealership. We're going to get every penny back. Next time, you buy me a watch or whatever with the allowance I give you. Like, why are you using my money to buy me things I don't want that are that extravagant?
That's funny.
He's like, I've never said I wanted a Bentley. It was like so funny.
Yeah.
This guy, baseball players got some good got some good, what's the term? Ornery man humor in them.
Yeah.
You know, like one of the guys was, we're getting IVs in the morning.
Mm.
It's a Robin Ventura story. And this girl comes down. She goes, "Oh, you smell good. What is that?" And he goes, "That's a hard on. You can smell that?"
Oh my God.
How good is that?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and he goes, "Yeah, we used to have a coach that taught me that one. It's a legendary." I was like, that is so fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Robin Ventura, I'm hoping to get him on the podcast now that
Yeah.
we're pals.
Oh my God.
He's coming up because on the last night, so the whole time during the golf tournament, he kept talking all this shit. He kept being like, "Yeah, there's a fat scooter that's floating on one of the ponds." And he was like, "I'm going to get a big race. Whoever can swim out to it first wins the fat scooter." And I was like, "I'll do that." And he's like, "All right, let's get Michael Phelps, see if he'll do it." Like, we're trying to get like all these guys, right? And, you know, the whole holiday classic in Arizona, it was freezing. It never rains or is stormy in like Arizona except the 3 days of this golf tournament.
Yeah.
So it's just like everyone stopped golfing on the first day after like 3 holes. I mean, it's just unbearable rain and like cold. And so obviously we're not going to jump in a pond and like race for this scooter. And Robin Venture's talking like a big game. Like, "No, dude, I'll do it." And he just never did it. And so on the last night, we raced in the pool for the scooter. And we all jumped in and raced. And when I was grabbing all my crap, it's like 3 a.m. We got kicked out like immediately. We're grabbing all our crap to get back to the hotel rooms. I wake up in the morning. Everyone's on their flights. Everyone's going back. Everyone's like sobering up and whatever. I'm getting on my flight. And I reach into my pocket. I have Robin Ventura's reading glasses.
Nice.
He must have like left them at the pool and I scooped them all up. So I've told him, and this is the only reason I'm sharing this story is because, you know, there's going to be an update on this. I told him that I'll give him his glasses back if he gives me a Robin Ventura game used memorabilia item of his choice. You know, it could be like a jersey, it could be like a bat, could be whatever it is. And he has to promise he'll leave me one of his gold gloves in his will when he dies. And and he said that he can meet those terms. And so there will be an update. He's going to drive up to LA. Hopefully
Hell yeah.
we can get him on the pod. Maybe it'll just be like a hang.
Where does he live?
He lives in a place called Slow. I don't know what that is. It's in
San Luis Obispo.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've heard of St. Louis Obispo. I've never heard of Slow, and that absolutely must be what he's talking about.
That is, yeah.
Is it like 3 hours away?
Yeah.
Yeah, north.
Yeah,
It's like where
perfect.
Stanford.
Yeah, that's
The
where he lives.
Central
Universities.
Coast.
Yeah, Central Coast.
Nice. I'm glad you figured that. So that's where St.
Yeah.
Louis Obispo. And he's like, I'll come down and we'll make the exchange.
Nice, dude.
So
Hell yeah.
that's what these are.
Dude, I was a huge White Sox fan growing up, dude.
See, this is Robin Ventura.
Yeah. I think I had that.
Starting lineup. I also,
And
got
his
to talk,
readers.
I also got to talk to him about the Nolan Ryan incident.
Yeah.
Wasn't that because you know everyone says don't ask him about that, don't talk about that, but we got to a place where I was like I felt comfortable asking him about it. He didn't give a shit. It wasn't even like a big thing. Like I thought it would be this whole like thing, and he was like, "Nah, he's cool about it." He didn't give a shit. He wasn't like, and that's how cool Robin Ventura is. He's like, the rule was, you know, whoever gets hit, you got to go. You know, that's what I thought as a young 23-year-old. You know, if he hits me, I'm gonna go. And he got hit, and he's like, "All right, I guess I got to go fight him." And I love that take.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, I can't believe you're asking me this, or I'm embarrassed. Nothing. Just like, I got plunked in the back, and I ran up and fought him.
Yeah. That's awesome.
If you don't know what we're referencing, John Boy did a good breakdown of it on his Instagram. But if you don't know what we're referencing, 46-year-old Nolan Ryan plunks 23-year-old Robin Ventura. Robin Ventura runs out and fights him and doesn't get the better end of that deal.
Oh, dude,
He does not.
Yeah.
wrecked.
But who
Yeah.
knew Robin Ventura was such a or who knew that like Nolan Ryan is such a badass?
He's just
Dude,
an
got him
old
in a
wily
head-
vet
like
at
a
that point.
headlock,
Just
dude.
an old Texan, you know, just
Yeah.
this old dirty Texan.
Dude, he was
And,
a
you know,
monster.
that's not. Robin Ventura shouldn't be embarrassed. Like Robin Ventura is a legend. He's one of the greatest college baseball players of all time.
Mhm.
He's 9-time Gold Glover. Like he's literally like. Yeah, that's what happens in a fight sometimes. It's not
Yeah.
the best fight either because you get about, 4 seconds before the entire 2 benches mob you? Not
Also,
to mention that first baseman's coming in hot.
Nolan Ryan's got the high ground because he's on the mound.
Yep.
You know?
And he's older and like he's got that man strength. You know what I'm saying? You
He's
ever
got the
fought your
high
dad?
Yeah.
You ever wrestled your dad?
I would destroy my
Oh,
dad.
dude.
Now I would, but like there was a time
When I was 23, I would destroy my dad.
when I was like 14, I just remember being like, "What
Yeah,
is
when I was
this
like
power
14.
he's got?
Yeah, that's
he's got
true.
some sort of weird dad like vice grip hands." It's like
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
what Nolan Ryan put down on young Robin Ventura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet if they fought now, Robin Ventura would fuck his life up.
Yeah.
So it's all about age, you know.
Yeah.
It's like whatever.
Yeah.
But Robin Ventura is a legend. I'm excited to hopefully have him him on the podcast, but also like he's just such a cool dude.
Yeah.
We were at this dinner and I kept being like, hey man, when you die, can I have one of your gold gloves now that we're friends? And he had the best response. He's like, dude, one, why are you talking about me dying? And also, like, he's like, you're not that much younger than me. And I can just give you a gold glove. I don't have to, like, die to give you one of my gold gloves. I was like, all right, I'm going to hold you to that, man. Yeah. So I'm hoping when the exchange happens that he brings, like, one of his gold gloves. I'm like, man, have it.
Nice.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be cool.
He's like, I got 8 others. And people come to my house and I'll be like, this is my award for this, and this is my award for that, this is my award for this, and this is Robin Ventura's gold glove.
Yeah.
Like, why do you have that?
Nice.
It's cool. Anyways, looking forward to that episode. Stay tuned for an update. We also have some really exciting future guests coming on. Some spoilers. Beth Stelling, Andrew Santino, and Jen, formerly Sturger, now Jen Decker. She's a sideline lady for AEW Wrestling, and then she's also like one of the most famous FSU sports fans of all time because she was super hot and would wear like very little clothes, and everybody was like obsessed with her, like on the internet and television. Like, who is that woman?
Yeah.
And then she had some incident with Brett Favre that she's probably not going to talk about on the podcast, but I'll try my best.
I get nervous whenever we preview guests.
Oh, whenever I tell them who's going to be here?
Because then I'm like, oh, I hope it works.
That's not the next 3 weeks, but we're having those guests, and stay tuned for those. Look forward to it. I'm not going to give... we've got a big surprise guest coming up soon that I won't even spoil yet until it's confirmed, but it's going to be a wild episode. I'm very excited. Anything you want to plug, Jeff Z?
I'm going to be in Tampa.
Woo!
At Side Splitters.
You know, I was going to have you open for me. I told you this, right? Last night?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to be there the 12th through the 15th.
Nice. Who you with?
Mikey Winfield.
Oh, cool. Love Mikey. That'd be fun.
Yeah, man. Cool.
At Side Splitters.
Yep.
Nice. T-Bear, what do you want to promote?
YouTube.com/ScreenPeekers for video game stuff if you like the gaming. And then you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at I am Tony Reavis.
Love it.
I also forgot to plug my Instagram. Jeff Zenisek.
Jeff Zenisek, at Jeff Zenisek on Instagram. Okay, so this weekend, guys, I am going to be at the Funny Bone in Des Moines, Iowa. That's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Come to those shows. I'm very excited to go back to Iowa. I kind of blew it this morning. I was supposed to do press. I was supposed to wake up early and promote it on press. I woke up at 9 to call in. It was Central Time. So I forgot, it was supposed to be at 7 a.m. technically here in LA. But anyways, so I forgot to do press. But I will be in Des Moines, Iowa at the Funny Bone Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th. And then the 13th and 14th, I'm going to be in New York City at Gotham Comedy Club. And I think I'm going to actually be staying there for a few days just to knock out some podcasts, be on Sam Roberts' podcast, the wrestling one, Chris DiStefano and Giannis Pappas' podcast on that
History
Monday.
Hyenas.
Yeah, for History Hyenas. And and then from there, I go to Oxnard, California at Levity Live. So get your tickets for those. Thanks for listening. We're excited to have you guys again. We love you.
Friendship.
How about that? What a fantastic episode. Big thank you to Jeff Zenisek. Don't forget to follow his Instagram at Jeff Zenisek. Also get tickets to go see him at Side Splitters in Tampa. I think you just Google his name, write calendar, write dates, find out when he's going to be in your area or in your town. Great guy, good friend, love him to death. Go to Tony's, his main career, his real true love. When he was a little boy, he didn't think, hey, maybe I'll produce Jeff Dye's Friendship Pod. That wasn't the goal. He's happy to do it, but what he wants to do is play video games and not have to work at his shitty job anymore. So go to Screen Peekers, check out all of his stuff, look up Tony Reavis on us, and just put in your little search bar, Tony Reavis, Screen Peekers. Subscribe, watch, comment, love, donate, whatever you can do over there is helpful. Come see me in Des Moines, Iowa this weekend at Funny Bone, and then the week after that, I'm at Gotham Comedy Club, and the week after that, I'm at Levity Live in Oxnard, California. If you want to go to those and you don't want to pay for tickets and you'd like to meet me and get a hug and a handshake and some love, go to patreon.com/Jeff Dye and subscribe there, and you will get free tickets to those shows, free meet and greets, and you'll officially be my friend. Without any more, see you next week. We love you guys. Why did I say without any more? Doesn't make sense.